What if everything you thought about your relationship was a lie? The person you trusted most, your partner, the one you've built a life with, was hiding something right under your nose. Can you imagine the pain of realizing you've been blind to the truth? What if the signs were there all along, but you missed them? Right now, as you're watching this, there's a part of you wondering, could she be seeing someone else? You might feel a little anxious, confused, or even scared about what this could mean. Well, stick with me, because in this video, I'm going to reveal 6 hidden signs that might just answer that question. These are the signs that are often overlooked, signs that most people don't notice until it's too late. But here's the truth, it's not about jumping to conclusions. It's about becoming aware of the subtle changes in behavior. Today, I'm going to help you spot them early, so you can protect yourself and take the next step with confidence. Let's dive in. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou's words are a powerful reminder that actions speak louder than words. If your woman's behavior is shifting, the signs are there, and it's important to trust what you're seeing. Sometimes, the truth is staring us right in the face, but we're too afraid to confront it. Before we dive into the signs, here's something to remember. Always look for patterns, not isolated incidents. A single strange behavior might not mean anything, but when the same thing happens repeatedly, it's time to take notice. Trust your instincts. They're more accurate than you might think. Now, let's get into the 6 hidden signs that could indicate she's seeing someone else. Have you noticed small changes in her behavior that you couldn't quite explain? Maybe it's something little, like her being more distant, or suddenly becoming overly sweet. It can be hard to pinpoint, but when you connect the dots, you'll start to see a bigger picture. Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll have all the tools you need to recognize those signs and make the best decision moving forward. Sign: she's suddenly guarding her phone. Let's start with something many people overlook: her phone. Think back to the times when you've casually glanced at her phone, maybe during a family dinner or while you're both sitting together watching a movie. In the past, she might have been fine with leaving it on the table or letting you see a funny text or photo. But recently, she's been more secretive. You notice her picking it up, unlocking it, and quickly swiping to a different screen when you walk into the room. Have you ever caught her making excuses for why she can't leave her phone unattended? Perhaps she's constantly checking it, or she's started to put it face down even when you're nearby? If she used to be open about her phone, but now acts paranoid, it might mean she's hiding something, or someone. Here's the key: a healthy relationship is built on trust. If she's creating distance around her phone, it's often a sign that her attention might be elsewhere. Trust your gut and take note of this behavior. It's not about being paranoid, it's about being observant. Sign 2: emotional distance. The next sign is one that can be really painful to notice: emotional distance. Have you noticed a shift in how she connects with you? In the beginning of your relationship, it was easy to talk about everything: your dreams, your day, your hopes for the future. She would share personal details with you, and you'd feel like the closest people on earth. But lately, it seems like she's pulling away emotionally. She's stopped asking about your day, stopped sharing her own thoughts, or maybe she's less interested in what you have to say. When you try to engage with her, she seems distracted, or worse, she shuts you down. She might even seem irritated when you ask her about things that used to matter to her. This is a major red flag that emotional intimacy is on the decline, and it could be because her heart is starting to lean somewhere else. But remember, emotional distance doesn't happen overnight. It's gradual. So if this sounds familiar, don't ignore it. This is one of the clearest indicators that something is off. Sign 3: unexplained schedule changes. The third sign is something that's harder to pinpoint but still very telling: unexplained schedule changes. Has she suddenly started staying late at work more often? Or maybe she's been going out with her friends a lot more, and when you ask about it, she gives you vague answers like, "Oh, just hanging out with the girls." You might have noticed that she's not telling you the details of where she's going or who she's seeing. Now, everybody has the right to a life outside of the relationship. But when her schedule starts to shift unexpectedly, and she doesn't seem as eager to share the details, it could mean her time is being spent elsewhere. If these changes happen suddenly and frequently, it might be worth digging a little deeper. Sometimes, it's not just the time that changes, but the reason behind the change. If she becomes defensive or even annoyed when you ask her about it, that's a big red flag. Sign 4. Overcompensating with kindness. Now, this is an interesting one. Some people overcompensate when they're feeling guilty. If she suddenly starts being overly kind, giving you gifts for no reason, or showering you with compliments, it might be her way of balancing out the guilt she's feeling from her actions. It's confusing because at first, it seems like a nice gesture, but the truth is, it could be a way of trying to cover up her secret life. Maybe she's buying you gifts or doing nice things to make herself feel better or ease the tension that she knows is building between you two. Pay attention to how consistent this behavior is. If it seems like it's coming out of nowhere and doesn't feel like the real her, it could be a sign that something more is going on. Sign 5. Less physical intimacy. Let's talk about intimacy, specifically the decline of it. In any relationship, physical connection is important. But when she starts pulling away, avoiding touch, or showing less interest in being physically intimate with you, it's a clear sign that her feelings may have shifted. She might seem more tired, disinterested, or even uncomfortable during moments when you used to connect closely. This isn't just about romance. It's about closeness, affection, and touch. If she's becoming distant, even when you try to initiate intimacy, it might mean her attention has wandered elsewhere. The key here is noticing the change. A decrease in affection might start small, but it can grow quickly if it's left unaddressed. If you feel like you're being shut out, that could be a sign she's emotionally or physically involved with someone else. Sign 6. Frequent arguments over nothing. This is one of the most common, yet subtle signs that something is off. Frequent arguments over nothing. Suddenly, she starts picking fights over the smallest things. It could be over how you load the dishwasher, how you fold the towels, or even something as simple as the tone of your voice. These petty arguments can sometimes be a way of deflecting guilt or frustration. If she's feeling emotionally disconnected or guilty about seeing someone else, she might take it out on you in the form of constant, meaningless arguments. Ask yourself, are these arguments about the small stuff really that important? Or is there something else underneath them that's driving the tension? This behavior often points to deeper issues, and it might be her way of justifying her actions or creating emotional distance. Now, here's the kicker. There's one sign that's often overlooked, but it could be the most telling of them all. Stick with me, because this final sign will leave you shocked and completely reevaluating everything you thought you knew about your relationship. Remember, relationships are complicated. Not every change in behavior means she's seeing someone else. But if you notice multiple signs, don't ignore them. Instead of jumping to conclusions, trust your instincts and take time to assess the situation. The best thing you can do is confront the issue head-on. Open, honest conversations are always better than living in doubt. If you start noticing these signs, don't react with anger or accusations. It's important to approach the situation calmly and respectfully. Ask her about what you've been observing, and give her the chance to share her side. If she's truly seeing someone else, honesty is the first step toward making decisions that are best for you both. At the end of the day, trust is the foundation of any relationship. If you start seeing these signs, don't be afraid to face the truth. It's better to have a difficult conversation than live in fear and uncertainty. And if you've found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more relationship insights and guidance. We're in this together. Let's learn how to build stronger, more meaningful connections, and protect our hearts along the way.